Hey everybody. So today I just wanted to have a conversation about a few things for seniors. A lot of seniors that are beginners or have no idea about exercise and strength training. And this information also might be useful to others as well. So um, I think that for someone that has no experience in exercising, might be a little scared off by the term strength training. But I wanted to clear that up because strength training is literally just an exercise you do to build muscle strength. You can use it to build size, of course, as well, and it's nothing all that complicated. It doesn't have to be. In this day and age with the internet, with YouTube and Google and all of these different social networks, there's a lot of information being spread around and given, and there's people just trying to get views, offering up, you know, wacky ideas on exercises and workouts. And I can definitely see how someone who's older that's looking at the stuff, knowing they need to do something, uh, might just look at that stuff and think, nope, not doing it. It's ridiculous for me. So strength training, can be just as simple as an exercise. Yes, you use weights. You can use weights. It can be isometric exercises. It can be walking. It can be just being in a seated position and sit and standing up, to strengthen your legs and your glutes and your hamstring, like your hamstrings. Um, just things like that. So just remember that, okay? It doesn't have to be, uh, you lifting weights 5 to 7 days a week. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it doesn't have to be. It can be other things. You can walk, you can play pickleball, you can do all just different activities just to move the muscle. And the more you move the muscle, the better off you're gonna be. You're going to fight off atrophy and just your body starting to seize up as you age. We all know that that happens to everyone who ages eventually. But I want to point out that there are uh, when they're active older adults, you can see that it works, right? So there is something to it. Um, Now, the type of exercises and the weights, if you use dumbbells and barbells or machines, does it matter? It's going to depend what your goals are. The exercises in particular don't really matter as much as some people might say. Now, I know that right now there's someone uh, who's got their, who's got their nose out of joint listening to that. But really, it's up to you as a person. It's up to you to do what you think you need to do. Now, of course, there are different exercises that are going to work different parts of the body, and you need to figure out what you need to do for yourself. Do you need more mobility? Do you need to be able to get up and down more? Do you need to be able to lift the groceries out of the car into the house? Do you need to be able to help children and grandchildren fix things around the house? Do you need to play pickleball? Do you need to go swimming? Do you need to do all of these things? Just being able to take care of yourself. And of course, the answer is, for a lot of that is going to be yes. But then you need to figure out, okay, well then what exercises am I going to do to make that part of my life better, make me stronger? So that's where channels like this can come in handy, where I give options or ideas on what you might want to do, and I share what I do with my workouts and my exercises, and I'm always looking at different things to try out. I just turned 60 last fall, and I like to try different things. I like to see. Eventually, I just want to make it as easy for me as possible, as far as or I shouldn't say easy. It's more most efficient as possible for me. Right now, I do a lot of isolation exercises. I do some compound movements, but I know that in time, as I age, when I'm getting closer to 80s, I might not do as many isolation exercises. I'll do more compound movements and probably less movements, but there will be movements because I want to be able to get up. I want to be able to push off. I want to be able to pull. I want to be able to hold. I just want to be able to stay active. I don't want to atrophy. I don't want atrophy to take control of me and take over. And to the point that you need to be, regardless of what you decide to do, you need to be consistently active. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm going to walk once a week for an hour and that should be good. It's not. It's not good enough. It's You've got time working against you, and unfortunately, now that we're getting older, we need to keep going. We need to keep pushing it, um, and that's just the way it is in my mind. You know, there might be some out there that have different ideas about that, but uh, I think once we stop, then the body stops. The body is amazing. The more you do, the more you walk, and the more you exercise, the more energy you get, the stronger you get. It's amazing how the human body reacts to the actions you take. Um, Speaking of walking, I'm just going off a list here. I gave myself some notes here. Walking, I remember seeing 10,000 steps is a goal, should be the goal for everyone. And I want to say that myself personally, I don't wear a Fitbit or anything. I carry around a phone, usually in my pocket, and it's very rare I get 10,000 steps, but I do walk a few times a day. Um, I think the idea there with that whole 10,000 step thing is just to have adults be more active, to make that effort, because it takes a lot to get to 10,000 steps if you're mostly just sitting around reading and watching TV. A little bit of housework if you're retired and you're not traveling and you're not walking around touring. So that's, to me, that's what that whole idea of 10,000 steps is. And it's not a bad goal, but if you need to drop that down to 8,000, and if you're finding that's a lot, don't feel bad you're not getting to 10,000, because that's a lot of steps as you age. Excuse me. Three keys to being better, being stronger, um, more energy is sleep. That's the number one thing. Sleep and consistent hours within a range. Um, I go to bed 9:30, 10 most nights, and I'm up. When I get up varies, but when I go to bed, I'm usually stuck in that range. I do have a young son at 60. I have a 13-year-old, so there are some nights on the weekends where I'm up a little later. But for me, it's more about getting to bed at that consistent time, and then I would like to get 8 hours sleep, but I find that I get maybe 7. I'm up around 5, you know 5 to 6. It depends, unless I go to bed at 10:30. But you need to get the sleep right. You need to get eating down as well as you can. Now, I'm definitely not one to talk, and to preach to people, because I do like my salty, crunchy snacks, but I'm cutting back on those. And I eat 2 meals a day, and that just started a few years ago. I started doing daily intermittent fasting, and I just evolved into, just now, that's just, I don't even try it. It's what I do now. I just don't want to eat until well after 11, closer to noon, and then I eat supper. And on the weekends, I have snacks at night. So I can get to eating, and then, of course, the exercise. To me, those are three things that are non-negotiable that I need to try and do my best at. So the sleep I've got down, I think, really well. You know, in the exercise, I exercise every day of the week. I have a day off every fourth day, but I still exercise. I walk and I do forearms and a couple things, core. I shouldn't call it my day off, because it's really not. And then the sleeping and the eating and the exercise, yeah. So focus on those three things, and you'll find that you'll excel. Uh, How often should you exercise? That's going to depend on you, but what I would say is that you need to stay active. You need to determine what your goals are, and then you can go from there. A lot of people, probably older than me, 70s and up, are probably good with just doing compound movements, movements like squats and walking lunges and push-ups and reverse pull-ups with the back. Things like that, I think, are pretty good. I don't know. I'm not that old yet. And that speaks to my next point of adjusting as you age. Now, like I've mentioned, at 60, I'm doing a lot of isolation exercises, and I do exercise 45 minutes to an hour every day, just weights, and then I do my walking. I know as I get older, I'm going to adjust that. I'm already looking, I've just mentioned too, about trying to be more efficient. Over time, I will evolve into what I just said about the compound exercises. Um, go from there. Uh, so yeah, and focusing on functional exercises, exercises that will help you in everyday life. Things like farmer walks, where you're walking and you're holding on to things. Walking lunges, where when you go down deep on those, you're going to get everything in your leg, your calves, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quadriceps, and it just helps you to be able to get up off of a chair, to walk upstairs, just to move around. Um, yeah, so that's just about it. So my current goals are to just keep pushing forward. I'm wanting to drop in weight a bit. I want to lose the gut uh, a little bit over the next year, and just keep adjusting and trying to find that. I don't want to be just stuck exercising all the time. I want to have some fun, or I want to get some things done when I retire. I'm going to be retiring by the end of this year, 2025. So, and then just adjusting as I age. That's all. Um, yeah, and that's about it. I just wanted to touch base with people and talk about that a little bit, get that discussion going, because I think it's important. And I think people are, if they don't understand strength training, they might be a little bit standoffish, scared of it. And then there's people that are right flipped on the other side. I hear people on my channel that are leaving comments that are older than me, and they're very critical, and they opinionated on it, that their way is the best way, and their exercises are the best. And I have to say that, there might be some scientific research done on some exercises that show that they work certain areas of the body better than others. But at the end of the day, it's up to you as the person that's doing it to decide what's best for you. So take that for what it's worth. So that's it for now. So I hope this discussion was helpful at all. It might have got some ideas going. If you have any questions, you want to chat, leave me a message in the comments, and I'd be happy to have a convo with you. Bye.